Welcome to the Never-Ending Backlog Podcast, your place for short reviews from a gamer with the goal of reducing his backlog. From adventures to sandboxes, join our host as we walk through a collection of unplayed treasures. Now, let's take a look at the featured game of this episode of the Never-Ending Backlog.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Never Ending Backlog Podcast. I'm your host Zach, and today we are reviewing Wacky Wheels on Steam. Nothing beats the excitement of playing against friends. In Wacky Wheels, you can do just that. Play with a friend in split screen mode, play head to head using a modem connection, or play via serial null-modem cable. Race against challenging computer opponents with adjustable difficulty settings. The genre is action racing. The release date was 1994. The developer, Beavis Soft, besides Wacky Wheels, they've made Phylox. The publisher, 3D Realms, or Apogee Software. They've done Wrath, Blake Stone, Dark Ages, which we've already reviewed in the past, Death Rally, Duke Nukem, and many others. Current price is $4.99, and according to Is There Any Deal, it's $1.19 on GOG. So first of all, regarding the install and startup, this is a game from 1994, so it runs on the DOSBox generator. It works really well. The emulator comes pre-installed with the game. It's all set up properly. Works really well. It did force all three monitors originally, so it's super stretched out, as you would imagine from a DOS type of game. But you can easily go into windowed mode and just put it in the center screen and record it, which I did, and that worked really well. Graphics, these are very similar to Super Mario Kart. It looks very identical, very similar gameplay. But it's for the PC, which is nice. Audio, it's okay. It's nothing too crazy. Sound effects are fun. The music is okay from here and there. There's nothing that really jumps out. It's not as memorable, in my opinion, as Super Mario Kart, but it's all right. Controls, pretty good, actually. I will say the funny thing is it actually uses Alt, which I don't know many games that use Alt anymore on your keyboard. It's rare. I mean, I use Control Alt Delete to get out of stuff, or Alt Tab or Alt Enter. But in games, it's rare. So it does use Alt. That is your gas. Control is your shoot, because you can shoot items just like you can for Super Mario Kart. And other than that, it's pretty much it. It's not that challenging. You use your keyboard to actually, the arrows to actually move left, right, stuff like that. Gameplay, like I'd mentioned, this is very similar to Super Mario Kart. You choose a character. They are animal-based. I usually play as the shark. But there's like panda bears and moose and all these different types of animals you play as. Cute. And then you basically drive laps. Like I said, the graphics and even like the map layout looks very similar to Super Mario Kart. It's definitely an inspiration for this game. And you basically destroy each other to try to get first place. Not super difficult personally. Took me, the first level was a little bit challenging just to get used to the buttons. But other than that, after that, it was relatively easy. You'll see from my gameplay, it was pretty cool. So from interesting notes, the game does, like I said, it takes advantage of the Alt button, which I think is really neat. It's very rarely used in new games anymore, but it was definitely used in the older games. I will say, if you wipe out in your kart, the entire race resets. From the initial lineup with no laps. So like you might be, and this happens so many times. You'll see in my gameplay footage where, if you're watching it, but you'll see my character fly against the screen and break the screen like he's coming through your monitor, which is probably a cool effect back in the days. And you'll basically start back at the starting line, but all of you will be. It won't be just you. It'll be all the other characters, and you'll start back from the first lap again. And it happened so many times where I was on like the last lap, and I'd hit like a bomb or I'd hit a cactus, which resets you immediately, and you're just starting from scratch. I don't know if it's just because of the difficulty I was playing on or what, but it was frustrating. In the other Mario games where if you go way far off the map, the little cloud guy would pick you up the fishing pole and put you back on the track, and you'd go back a few spaces and you get to caught up. This game didn't really have it. Basically like, nope, you're going to restart the entire race. And you're like, I was almost done. I don't want to redo this all again. Luckily, the maps are smaller. The tracks aren't too long, and it's overall not bad. I will say there are some cool features where if you go into the super deep water, you actually have like a little periscope that pops up like a submarine rather than just being automatically thrown back on the track. It does slow you down tremendously, but it's kind of a cool little feature I like. Like I said, they never really figured out the cloud guy resolution, so they just try to figure out their own way, which is either A, you get a periscope, or B, the entire race resets. So it can get a little frustrating. Similar to the Mario Kart properties, you can pick up weapons. So they have like bombs and oil slicks and stuff. The one thing that I think is funny is there are porcupines or hedgehogs, I think they're porcupines, hanging out on the racetrack. And you can hit them, not in a bloody manner, you just hit them. And then you can shoot them like little ball. And the funny thing is like the porcupines, they're doing little random things. So like some of them are construction workers. So you'll see them like have little jackhammers. And some of them have guns and they're shooting random things. Nothing in particular, just shooting. And there are some that are dancing. It's just all these different like porcupines doing random things. And you hit them and then you basically throw them. So kind of funny. It's interesting. It's an interesting thought process for the game. It is definitely a wacky type of game. The maps are all very, very nice. They're nothing too, crazy. It is a 2D game. So, or maybe I guess a 2.5D game technically, but there's nothing crazy amazing about them. There's no playing Mario Kart now, you see like the rainbow road and you see all these different things. It's a lot cooler now, but back then with what they had, it was good. I actually do remember playing Wacky Wheels a long time ago as well, and it was one of my favorite games. I didn't have a Super Nintendo at the time. I got one later on, but I didn't originally, and all my friends were playing Super Mario Kart. So Wacky Wheels was kind of my replacement. So I think it's cool. I also think it's really neat how in the Steam description, it took me a second where it says, play head-to-head using a modem connection. I always thought it said modern connection because I thought it was, remastered for Steam. No, it was a modem connection. They kept the original, method, like the original text and copy. Obviously, you're not using a modem. You can play this online. You can't use Steam to play online because it uses DOSBox, so there's no achievements or anything along those lines either. You can probably use DOSBox and actually do some LAN stuff, just like you can for a lot of like the Super Nintendo emulators and stuff. You can do online play and stuff like that. I'm not going to go that crazy with this. I never also played with the serial key. I never also played split screen, though I could do that here because it does allow those type of games. You could use two people on the keyboard. One person gets the far left, one person gets the far right. You could have a controller plugged into it, maybe two controllers plugged into it. So it does offer a lot of that flexibility, which I kind of like. But yeah, Wacky Wheels is a fun game. Would I recommend it? It's a hard one. There's so much. It's a big part of my past, as with most Apogee games and 3D Realms games. But it is also $4.99, and there is no bundles you can get this in. I'm pretty sure I did get this actually in a bundle with Dark Ages and Hocus Pocus that I mentioned in the past. That sale, the Anthology collection, is no longer available. But with it no longer being available, you can buy this game for $4.99. Unlike Dark Ages, which you can't buy at all. So for $4.99, no, I'm definitely not going to recommend this. It is a cool game. I'll give it a thumbs up on Steam just because of my memories, and it works really well with DOSBox. But if you're going out and buying it, there are far better games out there. I'm sure there's a shareware version of Wacky Wheels. Try it out. Play with it. You can install it on DOSBox. You can install DOSBox very easily. Try it out. See if you like it. If it's like the best game in the world for you, yeah, definitely buy it then. It's just memories for me. Even if I were going to say like, hey, you want a classic racing game like this, pick up Death Rally, made by Apogee Software as well. It takes all of like the bad guy or all of the characters from like all their games, so like Duke Nukem and all of them, and it's a top view racing game, which I think those ones are more fun because they're more unique, and it's also battles. So think of like Twisted Metal racing games like that. I think Death Rally would be more fun, and it's probably you can buy that relatively cheap as well. But anyway, that's my review of Wacky Wheels on Steam. Really fun game, great blast from the past. Probably not worth $4.99. But anyway, have a great day. We'll talk soon.